Wanda. I wonder what that whole first episode was about. I'm still confused by the first episode of WandaVision, but I think I am less confused than a lot of people out there because I caught a lot of the references that were going on that may be lost to time and history. Namely, that was the Dick Van Dyke set. I don't know who knows that, but that opening bit that they did in that episode was very much a Dick Van Dyke. I caught it. I don't know how many people did. I don't even know if people know who I mean by Dick Van Dyke anymore. But here I am. I am Uncle Tony, and I am watching WandaVision. And I'm digging it. It's neat. It's more like it's themed differently than anything else. It's using references that have long gone away. Like I said, it's the Dick Van Dyke set, and it's sort of the Dick Van Dyke kind of story. First season of Dick Van Dyke, he came in through his door back home to his wife and tripped over the ottoman and did a tumble. In seasons after that, season 2, 3, and 4, he came in the front door, stopped at the ottoman, and tiptoed around it. And it became like a gag. Oh, like, look, he changed up the opening of his TV show. And that was the only change to it. The other influence I saw, I think there's a little Lucy in there, especially when it comes to the neighbors and the people coming in and out. And that Ethel Mertz style of, too friendly neighbor. There's also a little Bewitched in there with the magic and stuff where everything flies around in the kitchen like it's been hanging on strings. And that brings me to the style of the show, which is done in the style of a late 50s, early 60s black and white television show, which shot in a square aspect ratio as opposed to the widescreen like I'm in right now. I've framed myself over into a third and frame, the other content into another third, and, there's a middle area between. In a square frame, that's not true. So you end up with people occupying halves or the center, and that's jarring to the eye, having seen the transition to a new aspect ratio on television. It was it's very unique, and it's got to be more difficult than it looks to make an effect look like an old effect when you're doing it the new way. Obviously, it was going to be CG, characters floating around plates and shit in the kitchen, but to make them look like they're hanging from strings. And in the old television days, you'd see the strings. I should look again. They might have even animated a couple of strings in there just to make it authentic. But so I dig it. And the other thing, when Vision goes to the office and he's kind of surrounded, Dick Van Dyke was a comedy writer for a television show, and he used to go into the office, and it was always that sort of same thing. You never actually saw him write the jokes, or they would talk about bits, but you never actually saw him do the show. So, he would just come. It was him during the day with his friends, trying to write some comedy bits and then coming home to the family later on. It's sort of like what Vision is doing, not ever seeing the results of his work and not knowing what the results are. Now, add to that, fucking Twilight Zone. Because that's what it is. On top of everything else, it's a Twilight Zone episode. So, yeah. Okay, Marvel. You guys are... You're taking a tiny, very specific bite of a giant apple, and you're looking for a very, very specific flavor. I hope you get there. This is a show that seems very hard to nail the tone. All right, all that being said, because those are my thoughts about everything that's gone through my head since I watched the last episode, and it's like almost 5 minutes worth of shit that I'm talking about here. So let's get into it. But if you have watched this long, hey man, give me a like, give me a comment, hit the subscribe. I want to talk with people about this, so leave me comments in the doobly-doo and I will get back to you. Don't spoil anything. I've managed to make it this far without any spoilers, and I'm only watching these on a week-to-week basis, so what you put in the comments, I will see before I record the next episode. So be kind. Let's do it. Let's watch WandaVision. Wanda, where have you been? Two beds.
What was that?
We should really determine the source of that sound.
Yes, one of us should. Oh, this is getting ridiculous.
Putting the beds together.
I'm going to take a look. This is better, isn't it?
Wanda, darling,
Yes, dear.
get the light.
Oh, well, look at that. That's straight up Bewitched, isn't it? Again, how many people understand this? I know people my age get it, but do young people who are fans of this, who are fans of Marvel and the superheroes and have only known these very, very modern films, do they get this? Yeah, okay. So the first episode was Dick Van Dyke. The second episode is Bewitched. I love these animated openings. It's kind of like we're being taken through a history of television.
Ladies and gentlemen, for my final trick.
That's interesting too, because now we have stuff in the foreground of the shot, which is a new development of the.
Cue.
Oh shit! I should.
I said the Cabinet of Mysteries.
Oh, that's my cue. Ooh.
Wanda and Vision, Westview Veteraners.
I'll see you at curtain call.
So yeah, they've advanced the television production as history did. It went from a single camera to this is now like what would be considered a 3-camera shoot. Oh my. There's something colorful in the bushes. Very Pleasantville. Had a marking on it, didn't quite make it out.
I too have some top secret gossip to share. Norm here's a communist.
What?
Vision, you're a real cutout. We actually thought you were serious. He's funny. All right, so back to this.
Vision ate a piece of gum.
Who is that?
It's the Beach Boys.
Who are you?
Wanda,
Oh.
who's doing this to you, Wanda? Wanda. What?
Wow.
Dottie!
More red. Help Me Rhonda. I wonder it was supposed to be sort of played as a Help Me Wanda.
Strucker, he'll make time for you.
Wait a minute. Hydra. All right, there was something buried in there.
I want to thank you all for coming out to support Westview Elementary for the children.
For the
And
children.
for our final
Yeah.
act, I give you Wanda and Vision.
This is gonna be great! A staggering feat of strength!
How on earth did you really do that? Wanda?
Illusion,
Yeah.
master of enigma, allow me.
What?
Whoops! You weren't supposed to see how we did that trick?
That was my grandmother's piano.
Oh no, you did the trick right.
Well, of course he did the trick right. I'm an illusion. Flourish.
Flourish. I may end up doing that myself
For the next trick.
every time I leave a room.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah, what's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Flourish. Every time I leave a room. That's it. From now on, every time I leave a room, flourish.
Now let's get out of here before Dottie and the planning committee string us up for ruining the show.
I don't think you ruined the show at all. I think you probably won that talent show.
We are so
Hilarious!
See?
That was the most hilarious act we've ever seen. Wouldn't you all agree?
Absolutely. Tremendous. Tremendous work.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and the house is
You were
different.
a tremendous glamour.
That's really
So we are moving through the history of television here.
Wonder.
What?
Oh, hello.
Vision? Is this really happening?
What is that?
What is that? You... What the hell?
No.
Followed by another what the hell?
Vision. Is this really happening?
Oh, now he's in color.
Vision.
Wow. The metaphor here is huge. But it is what I said. They're moving through the history of television, and now they're up to the color era.
Wanda. Who's doing this to you, Wanda?
Who's doing this to you, Wanda? What the hell's happening? Wow. It's, make sure. Okay. People, they told me, everybody told me that there's only a after credits scene in like the last 3, so I'm going to keep an eye out for those, but I'm going to check every time just in case. And it's okay. So we were back in the deep past with the Dick Van Dyke Show, and then we got moved up into the Bewitched, which was a little more modern of a television show, a 3-camera shoot, foreground materials, and exteriors, which is what we saw, and then color. But of course, okay. Beds had to be separate in the old days. In the weird old moralistic days of television, you couldn't show even a husband and wife sharing the same bed. And so whenever there was a bedroom scene, which happened quite a bit, it had to be 2 separate beds. I forget who the first couple was to actually share a bed on television. I'm sure it's something famous that's just slipping my mind right now. But, you know, the television reflected sort of the morality of the country, and probably still does, sadly. And I do mean broadcast television. Everything else is a niche market. Whether it be cable, internet, streaming services, those are things you select for yourself. Broadcast television, back in these days, 3 channels went to every house in the country. If you had a television, you picked up 3 channels. And then you picked up some other regional bullshit, but there were 3 nationwide VHF channels that you could pull in. And in the days when there was not a lot of selection, there were huge amounts of viewership. So when I talk about the Dick Van Dyke Show, I'm talking about something that had a 50 share week after week, where it literally pulled in half the viewers in the country. It did on a weekly basis more than any Super Bowl could do nowadays. Nowadays, there's a lot more people and a lot more television, but there's also a lot more competition for your attention. This harkens back to a day when this was all you had. Now, within this, I also noticed some subliminal messages, some Easter eggs that were kind of hidden deep. I didn't look at that watch close enough to notice there was a Hydra on it right before it went away. I'm like, holy shit, what? So, you're surprising me, Wanda. You're surprising me, WandaVision. I look forward to the next episode. I'm digging this whole series. I like getting my mind warped. My mind is being blown and then disassembled and reassembled and put back in my head. And I still don't have a sign-off, but Wanda, where have you been? I'm in fierce need of libation. That's actually, that's from Diggstown. I'm trying to think of all the Wanda. What? Fish called Wanda? I'll do a bunch of Wandas. Tune in next week. And if you made it this far into the video, hey, why haven't you liked? Why haven't you commented? Why haven't you subscribed yet? Why haven't you subscribed yet? I've got so much shit on this channel. I need you to watch it. It needs to be watched. So watch it, do your thing. Throw me some comments. I love talking to people about this stuff. And yeah, tune in next week or tune in tomorrow. There'll be a new video up tomorrow probably, the rate I'm going. Flourish!